Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to season 13, episode 34, overall 694 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph, Ottawa. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210. Tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family-run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and they have been a sponsor of this show for the last 3.5 years. I hope everyone's doing well on this Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. This is my third show in less than 24 hours, and I'm looking forward to my guest tonight. This is his second appearance. He's a friend of the show, and he is a Nashville country music recording artist and songwriter, and he's a big sports fan too. Alabama fan as well, and his name is Danny Spiro. And Danny is going to be releasing his new song on May 22nd in another month from now, called Hating Your Name. And we're going to bring Danny on right now and talk about his music career and a little more about his latest single coming out in about a month's time, Hating Your Name. And we'll bring Danny on right now.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you, Danny?
It's good to be back. Thank you for having me.
It's been a year and a half. Hard to believe, eh?
I know, man. Time is flowing, brother. You look good, though, man.
Well, I'm trying to lose weight. I have to admit, I've put on some weight during the winter. We had a long winter here.
Yeah, we
cold
did
and
too.
snow since November, and that's the warmer weather's coming, except now all the rain's coming too now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's natural to gain weight in the winter months. It's for your health.
Yeah.
That's what I did too. That's my excuse. It was cold. I was trying to keep myself healthy.
Yes, so I've been keeping myself busy with my media work, my talk shows, and my freelance media work, and I love it. And I love doing this show and having guests like yourself on, and Kirsty on as well, and Ariel Jade I had on as well back in August.
Oh yeah, man. 2 other incredible artists in Nashville, man. They're doing well.
And you know what I've discovered in the media industry, and I'm sure you see it in the music industry, you meet so many good people, and meeting so many good people really keeps you inspired and motivated.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because some of the most talented people are the nicest people, and I know that fame can give you a stigma, but the truth is that most of the songwriters that I've met that are top of the top will give you advice anytime you really need it, and that's the beauty of this town.
And I've taken advice from some of my guests over the years and have applied it to try to keep improving and learning. And I'm sure as a musician too, songwriter, singer, you want to continue to improve and learn all the time too.
Oh yeah, that's the whole goal. I mean, nothing's perfect. It can always be worked on. It's just like sports for me. I treat it just like I do when I was in high school football. Every day you learn. Every day you make mistakes, then you learn on top of it. And it's always a work in progress. Always.
Consistency.
100%. Consistency is the key, man. I mean, even if it's 10 minutes on a guitar every day, like that does make a difference.
Yeah,
it really does.
Danny, I want to ask you this. Do you have any plans to work with Kirsty again as a duo at some point?
Yeah. I love going on the road with her. She's such a pro. She's got great talent. She's a hell of a front woman. We plan on doing a few more shows this coming year. and possibly next year as well. We just did the Parrot Head cruise on the Norwegian Cruise Line down to the Dominican Republic, the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, the Bahamas, and what an experience that was, man. I've never been I've never been on a cruise, so that was a new thing.
Why do you guys work so well together?
I believe that she thinks that I am a pro and I know the steps that need to be taken in order to conquer a tour. I really do believe that because she's definitely proven, and I'm newisher on the road than she is, but I have 10 years of Nashville, Broadway, and Midtown experience, and that really does help to be the secondary co-front for the road gigs for her.
Danny, I wanted to ask you this too. There's some days where I'm tired or I'm not 100%, but soon as the camera goes on and I start talking to my guests, I automatically feel so much better. Do you ever get that too as a singer songwriter? As soon as you start performing live, whatever kind of day you're having or you're not feeling 100%, the adrenaline starts kicking in?
Oh, well, all the time, man. It could be like 11 o'clock at night when the gig starts, and you are worn out from whatever you did that day and your voice is a little shot, but it's amazing when that adrenaline starts kicking in what the body can do. I mean, you can sing until 3 a.m. with a cold, a fever, the flu. I've done the flu a couple times. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it.
No.
But I think about Michael Jordan the whole time, and I think about when he played with like the heavy flu during one of those championship games.
Yes.
So the whole time in my head, I think about Michael Jordan, and if I was like, and he was like, if he can do the finals at a basketball game, I can do this gig. Like, so I don't recommend it, but if you have to do it, it's amazing what the adrenaline can do.
It's been a while since we had you on here a year and a half ago. After you came on a couple months later, I was doing some freelance media work for a pro sports team in Buffalo, and they feed the media. You know how media gets fed pizza, chicken.
Oh yeah.
So that night I felt good. I ate some chicken, ate some pizza. And then after the game, the guys are like, do you want to get a beer before you drive back home to Canada? And I'm like, no. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. And I said, I had to go to the convenience store to get something. I don't know why I got something dairy in me. And that actually made it worse. And then when I drove across the border, thank God there was a Tim Hortons donut coffee shop. It was a 24-hour right off the highway, and I spent 9 hours there. Thankfully, they let me use the washroom for 9 hours. I couldn't even drive home. I thought it was food poisoning, but it turned out to be the norovirus, because the day I got home, one of my family members got sick too, and food poisoning is not contagious if you don't eat poisoning food. So I ended up getting the norovirus, and that was not fun at all.
That's awful.
Yes.
I don't mean to
laugh.
And
I couldn't drive home.
Dude, I've been sick like that before, and I've sat in parking lots, and I'm like, someone help me, please. So I feel your pain, brother, but that sucks.
Hopefully I never go through that again. No. And I thought it was from the food, but it wasn't from the food. I picked up the noro bug somewhere, I don't know where, and it came on, and it has the same symptoms as food poisoning.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, even like the Norwegian Cruise Line, right? You always hear like horror stories about people getting sick on cruise. Like one person, that's all it takes. And then the rest of the ship is done for, and then they're quarantined out there. And I'll give Norwegian Cruise Line this. They had hand sanitizer employees, that every time you got on or off the ship, they were squirting your hands. And they had a thing called the washy employees, that at the buffet and every restaurant, they had a guy that was singing "Wash Your Hands" song. Swear to God, dude.
That's a good thing, because you know what? You always hear these cruise ships where massive people, when they done their cruise ship, are sick as a dog. So you know what? Well, that's good that they do that. And we probably should be going back to doing that again. Wash your hands. And if you're sick in public, wear a mask or stay home or whatever.
I'm susceptible to the flu, and when I get the flu, it's really bad. Like I'm bedridden, I'm shaking. So when it comes to those months, even during the spring and summer months, I'm really
Yeah.
washing my hands everywhere I go, especially with what we do for a living. We're in
Yes.
public around a lot of
Yeah.
people.
People.
Yeah, you know, they might not feel bad with the cold they have, but it might, you know, close to kill me. So yeah, I'm all for the hygienic purpose of being in public for real. So yeah, it sucks, man. I'm sorry. I'm glad you look better. I mean,
I didn't eat for 4 days. I ate freezies. The only thing I could take down
suck
was
on
these
ice.
freezies. It's like
Yeah,
frozen ice with like color sugar in it, and that's the
yeah.
only thing I could have for about 4 days, 3.5, 4 days.
Uh,
So, and then my family member picked it up too. So I'm like, I'm
uh.
so sorry, but yeah. So at least they didn't
That
accuse. At
sucks.
least they didn't accuse the team of food poisoning. It wasn't anything to do with the food. I just picked up the bug, and I don't know where I
Yeah.
got it, but I'm just lucky there was a 24-hour rest stop where I could go
Oh
to the
yeah.
bathroom and then go back to my car because I was in no condition to drive for about 8 hours.
No, that sounds
No.
torturous. Like I'm
Yes.
surprised you didn't check yourself into a
I don't think
clinic.
I don't think a hospital could have done anything for me. It was just every 20 minutes and I was going to the toilet. So
Excuse me.
yeah, so but that was an
Whew.
experience. That was an
That
experience. Yeah, hopefully never again. There's some experiences
whew.
you want to do again that I'm not. Hey, I wanted to ask you about your cruise experience. So overall, it was a good experience.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was for the paired head clubs around the states, and I grew up in Mobile, Alabama, so Jimmy Buffett was our hero, and I used to play at his sister's place called Lulu's down in Gulf Shores. She's got a couple locations that I've been to, and to be a Parrot Head member now because I'm a Music City Fin, PHIN, which is the Nashville chapter of the Music City of the Parrot Head clubs of the U.S. And yeah, they're wonderful folks. They really are, and they love artists and they love original music, and you can't get better than that, man.
So did you and Kirsty perform every day on the cruise ship?
About 3 or 4 shows. One of them was off the cruise ship, and 2 of them were on. And then she did like a writer's round with the other trop rock artists.
Now, did they have the equipment set up for you guys, or did you guys have to do it yourselves?
No, I mean the only thing we really had to worry about was our guitars, which is a
That's it.
beautiful thing. Oh yeah, yeah. They've been doing this since '99, so they've got it on lock. You know what I mean? Like they work with a company called Travel by Georgia as well. It's the Atlanta Parrot Head Club that put it on, so it's so well done that we're practically royalty, man. They were so good to us. This was for my first cruise experience. I'm kind of angry because I'm spoiled.
You got a
Yeah.
taste of it now. You want to do it again?
Well, yeah, but like, you know, you don't get taken care of like that when you pay for it yourself and it's on you for everything. Like we were treated like amazingly. So like it's going to be really hard to ever go on another cruise again without it being that good, you know?
How was the crowd receptive to you guys, and what were some of your songs that you played?
Oh, it was fantastic. Whether it was the Parrot Head clubs or just regular folks going on the cruise, they loved it. They really did love it. I played songs like Love Songs Lately, Hate Your Name, which you talked about earlier. That's coming out on May 22nd, which we're really excited for. Thank you.
Congrats.
And she has that song Dabba Dolly that's a reference to, Dolly Parton. You've heard it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they actually gave her the closing night on the ship. The last show was on this big stage on the aft part of the ship. And it was a Dabba Pink night, which was one of their biggest charities for the breast cancer awareness. And they did a Dabba Pink, kind of like a Dabba Dolly, and she was the headliner for the last night that I got to join her for. So it was pretty awesome to close out the last night like that. We all wore pink. We made it fun. It was for a great cause too. So,
and I imagine that week went by quick, so quick.
Oh, 7 days. It's just so hectic. There's so much going on that it's 11 o'clock at night, and you're like, "Whoa, what happened to the sun?" And then when you're on open water like that for a couple days, you lose track of time completely. Like I don't know how anyone, because I didn't really use the internet much, so it could be 2 days in, and you're like, oh, what time is it? What date is it? It's a wild thing when you're out there like that in the Caribbean. It really is. When you're finally looking around and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, I'm in the middle of the planet. Like there's nothing around here anytime soon. It's a cool but very like kind of scary, especially at night when you look out there and there is no difference between the skyline and the water, and that's terrifying. That's like that's definitely a an experience that if a human gets to have, it's really breathtaking because you're like, whoa, this really is the middle of the world. Like yeah,
Was the
it's
weather was the weather good for the 7 days?
oh beautiful. I mean,
Perfect.
obviously on the island sometimes it rains, but when it pours, it's 5 minutes. You know, that's just tropical weather. So we didn't really have many problems with that actually. I think there was one day where it kind of rained for about 10 minutes and that was about it. But nothing that stopped us from doing anything we wanted to do, didn't stop any of the shows or any of the events that any of the parrot heads were running. So we had a great time. It really was a blast.
When you go on a trip or a cruise too, it's nice to take a break from the phone because I'm guilty of it. I use my phone a lot. And when
Oh
you're on
yeah.
a trip like a cruise, you want to enjoy every second of it. Like, obviously, you want to take some video and pictures, but you don't want
Mhm.
to spend the entire time on the cruise looking at your phone either.
No, it was a nice break. I mean, obviously, we had to do the content and stuff like that because that's great for content to be in the
Yes.
Caribbean and all
Yeah.
that. You know, it's fantastic. But yeah, it was very nice not to be doom scrolling through TikTok or Instagram for once because I'm unfortunately guilty of that.
Did anybody have any seasickness on the cruise ship?
No, I wear one of those little. I got my doctor gave me one of those little patches behind the ear. You know, I don't think you really needed it, but those first few days, you got to get your sea legs. Like you do feel the movement every now and then, and you can even with the patch, I was kind of like, oh, okay. You're a little
Be on the
queasy,
safe
but
side.
you're not like seasick. But you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
feel it in my stomach. Like you're like, this is going to take like a couple days for me to
Yeah.
like get used to. But after those 2 days, you're in.
Yeah.
You're a
Good to
pirate.
know.
You're good to
Good to
go.
know. That's one
Yeah.
of my bucket lists is to go on a cruise ship or train. I'd like to do either a cruise ship or go on a train through Western Canada. Because our
Oh
and
yeah.
by the way, you and Kirsty have to get out to Canada because country music is booming out here too.
Oh yeah. My mom's from London, Ontario, dude.
Yeah,
So
you mentioned that. Yeah, which is only
yeah,
an hour for me.
I got family in Ontario. I've got an uncle and his family up in Calgary. I know Canada very well, man. As
Yeah,
a kid, I went there
yeah,
nonstop. I loved it up there.
it's
Plus, Tim
booming.
Hortons coffee is fantastic.
But Tim Hortons is no longer Canadian. It's owned by an American company.
Ah, we got you. We got the good stuff.
But the late Tim Horton was an NHL player for the Toronto
Yeah,
Maple Leafs and the Buffalo Sabres. He died in a car accident in 1974, I believe, but he started it
yeah.
up in the late 60s, early 70s. Do they have a Tim Hortons now in Tennessee,
I
Nashville?
don't know. I don't know yet. We're getting so many companies as of lately, man.
Yeah.
We just got Culver's. We just got In and Out Burger out of the West Coast. I mean, it's nonstop what we're getting here in Nashville.
Yeah, too
Um,
much choice. Too much choice.
oh, it's too much, man. And I like food, which is a problem for
So,
me.
so
Yeah.
do I.
So
So do I.
like any day you can just be like, you know what? I feel like this for breakfast, this for
Yeah.
lunch, and this for dinner. And you can do it.
Yeah.
Your wildest food fantasies, it can happen.
Dan, I wanted to ask you this too. When I'm not going on show, I don't really like to eat a lot because the one time I went on air and I was stuffed and I was full and I'm like, oh my god, my stomach's just bursting. As a performer, do you kind of like do you eat regularly or do you kind of just watch what you eat and then have something to eat heavy after the performance?
Yeah, 100%. That's the funny, that's funny that you say that because Kirsty, when we go on the road, sometimes she kind of makes fun of me because I don't eat anything. And maybe I should. It's probably not the smartest thing, but I really do have to either eat nothing and just drink electrolytes and go on, or if it is like a breakfast bar or something like a granola bar, like I'm not trying
Yeah,
to. I know that when I eat, I get lethargic, and once I get lethargic, I'm done for.
yeah.
So no, that's a real thing. A lot of artists either keep it really light or they don't eat at all, like myself.
I never asked any other country singers that except for you now.
Oh
So I
yeah.
was
Oh,
like,
that's 100% a real thing. 100%.
hey, Danny, can you tell us about your latest single coming up May 22nd, which isn't far away now, little months away, called Hating Your Name?
Yeah, man, hating your name. It is the perfect blend of what I grew up in Southern Alabama, which is Texas country, Texas and red dirt country. Like that is what we heard on our radio stations. That is what we had burnt on our CDs. It is kind of throwing homage to the Randy Rogers band and the Casey Donahue bands, to today's newer red dirt scene, like the Co-Wetzels and the Treaty Oak revivals. And I am so obsessed with it. I wrote it with a hit songwriter, Mason Douglas, who he's written a number one for Kid Rock. He's written with Hardy. He's written with, I mean, you name it. He's been in those rooms and he's put in his input. And it came together so fast. It really did. It's gritty, it's dark, but it's punching. You know what I mean? Like it's going. It's not like a high tempo song, but it sits right there at the mid high tempo. I'm so excited for it, just because, like I said, I grew up to those types of artists. So to have a song that really emulates my influences is, I mean, that's what any artist lives for, is throwing homage to the guys that you learned their songs, to get to where I am now. So it's going to be really exciting. We're really excited for it. The music videos, we're working on it now. The lyric video, we're doing all the press now. Pitches to Spotify. Hopefully Spotify puts it on some playlists. That'd be cool. And we're just really pumped for this one. So.
Danny, I had another musician on yesterday too. She's kind of into pop rock, a little different from country music. But we talked a little bit about Spotify and all these platforms. In a way, it's great for the musicians and artists, but she doesn't fit. She gave me her opinion. She feels that the artists aren't getting compensated enough for their music and work being on Spotify and Apple iTunes and all that.
Yeah, this is a tricky thing, because Spotify and these digital platforms gave independent artists a chance for the world to hear their music without paying $10 million to print copies, to put them on shelves, and to have to make deals with companies like Walmart and Amazon and these record shops that would cost a fortune to get their rights to put your banners out and to put your albums out, and to have warehouses full of stocked inventory. So yeah, as much as artists don't like the fact that Spotify doesn't pay well, because it is what it is. At the same time, I wouldn't have what I have as an independent artist right now if it wasn't for those streaming platforms. So it really is a give
It's
and take.
give and take. And I was gonna,
Man.
okay. Thank you for explaining that. I guess everybody's got a different perspective.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, I
what are
think
you?
these young artists,
Yeah.
weren't alive or remember what it was like to walk into a record store. You know what I mean? Like, they don't remember the amount of CDs that would be in the O section or the B section. And you were like, oh my God, like, Breaking Benjamin has a new album out. There's 150 copies right there with, they got boxes of it back in there. How much do you think that costs to put together? That alone, right? So yeah, it's a give and take, man.
What are your thoughts on music artists becoming unionized in the future? Do you see
I think
that
it's
happening
wonderful.
or no?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I know it's been discussed here in Nashville. I know that people want that, especially around like the downtown and midtown areas. We don't have much. We're very independent contractors. We work on W-9s. A lot of guys can't afford health care, and they barely make the rent, and they do have to have 5 or 6 roommates to keep this dream alive. So I understand that fully, and I think that that's wonderful. There are programs like Music Cares and other organizations that do go out of their way to help independent artists. And I urge artists that are very serious about this craft, who do need things, to reach out to outlets like that, because Lord knows I have, and other artists that I know have, and they really do great work.
Danny, for those people that are watching our show live stream right now or later on audio platforms, and they're looking to get into the music industry as a singer, songwriter, or the behind the scenes, from your experiences, what advice would you give to those people?
I would say play with everyone you can. In the beginning, you should take every show that you could possibly get. Don't be too good for anything. If you're, trying to be a songwriter, for example, and you're in a writer's round and you're the weakest link in the round, it's not bad to acknowledge that. You shouldn't let that discourage you. In fact, after that round, you should walk up to those other songwriters and get to know them and learn from them. And 99% of the time, those songwriters are more than willing to sit down with you and at least chat with you, and just be overall a good person. Don't be transactional. Try to actually bond with people, form relationships, because that's really what this business is. It's all relationship based. I mean, if this was strictly just talent, who knows what the playing field would look like. I really do think it's friendships and good business relationships and good acquaintances. And if you're willing to work what you have to do in order to be in this business, then you're going to be just fine. But, be able to see where your strong suits are and be able to see where your weak spots are. Don't be scared to admit that.
And don't be scared to take some feedback or criticism.
100%. And that's part of it. I mean, you have to be willing to take some hard criticisms. Like if people are telling you, you have such strong writing, but say your singing isn't great, well, maybe it doesn't hurt to focus more on writing, or vice versa. There are so many avenues and ways to get into a successful life in the music business. But I think people get their minds set on this. This is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be the next headliner at Staples Center, right? And then they're completely overlooking that some of the best jobs in the world are songwriters. So if they have these strong songs, but they say they're not the greatest performer or entertainer, it doesn't hurt to write and make a ton of money sitting in your apartment every day, or your house, or your writing room, and write songs from 9 to 5. It's a great life.
Do you feel songwriters don't get enough credit and due, just like writers don't in TV shows and movies?
Oh, that's been since the beginning of time. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's always, as an artist, you get to know who these songwriters were, are, will be, and it's really cool to see that. The best story I can come up with is my first time to go to the Grand Ole Opry. Don Schlitz, who wrote The Gambler for, and he wrote The Gambler and When You Say Nothing at All for Keith Whitley. And he got up there and said, my name's Don Schlitz. And he goes, I know no one's heard of me before, but you've heard these songs. And that really hit me, because I was like, this guy has some of the biggest hits in country music, and he's willing to laugh at that, to say you've never heard of me before. And yeah, I think even, and really it does the artist better to know who's writing these songs. Like I look at that like on Spotify all the time when the credits are posted and I find a song I really like, because I'm in Nashville, most of the time they're here. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get in touch with this cat, or I need to look at who's producing this song and maybe get in touch with them. And that's a huge part of it, is really respecting the songwriters, because without them, recording artists don't exist.
As for songwriters, what makes a good songwriter in your opinion?
Honest and transparent. Also, an artist that can write someone else's story is a gift. That's a gift. But I think that comes from, one, making sure you're living life. A lot of younger artists come to me and they have this thing in their head when they're 18 and they come to Nashville and they think that all they're supposed to do is just be playing music left and right. And I tell them, no, dude, go live life. Go get a bad job. Go get 1,000 bad jobs. Go out to parties. Go make friends. Go experience life, because that's the only way you can write stories, is if you've lived a life worth writing about. And that's the only way it works.
What are your thoughts on AI in the music industry and in songwriting?
That's also a give and take. I mean, I think if he used as a tool, I know there are companies like Suno that can help do demo work for a lot of songwriters that say can't afford to hire a band and hire a singer and hire the studio and the engineers to cut demos for them so they can pitch it to artists. So if you use it as a tool that way, and you write your song and you write your melodies and you do all the writing lyrically and musically, and you use a company like Suno, their AI tool, to create a track, I mean, I think that's cool. But I also think that that can make you use it as a crutch if you're not careful. And that's bad. That's not good. If these programs are writing your lyrics for you and they're writing your melodies for you and they're doing all the music ideas for you, that's not creativity anymore. That's just a computer following the formula that is working in the algorithm for that specific genre. That's all it's doing. So, like I said, it's a give and take. I think it's a great tool, but that's where it needs to stay.
Danny, can you just tell us a little bit about Mason Douglas and Grady Saxman and their involvement with Hating Your Name?
Yeah, so Mason Douglas has been a prolific songwriter in Nashville for years. I know he's originally from Arizona. He's a cat. I do know that, because we bounce back on football every right that we go to. And yeah, he wrote a number one for Kid Rock, and he wrote with Hardy. He's written, like I said earlier, he's written with every big artist and songwriter you can think of. And we wrote our first one, Love Songs Lately, and now with Hating Your Name, we really, like I said, wanted to throw homage to the Texas country, red dirt country scene. And Grady Saxman now and I have worked for my last 3 tracks for Favorite Color, Love Songs Lately, and Hating Your Name. And he's worked with every huge recording artist you can think of. Luke Combs, Ashley Cook. I mean, that list is endless, by the way. And every newer big artist that's coming out, you hear him. And most of the time, he's also the one playing drums, because he is an incredible drummer. I mean, he is just as much as a musician than he is a producer, which I love. Wow. That. Yeah. So when you hear my last 3 tracks, it's all him on drums. And he is quite amazing. I would love to take that guy on tour with me forever if he wasn't so busy, killing it. So, but no, we're really excited for this. Working with Grady is a pleasure. I have never had to think that anything is going to be subpar or anything's going to be wrong with it. When he sends me the mixes back, they're flawless. And I've worked with a lot of producers, and they're good producers, but a lot of the times you'll send something back and say, I don't really like this bass or this guitar part, or this is too loud and I want it softer. Grady, I'm just like, all right, bro, I'll see you in a little bit. And he gets it back to me, and it's everything that I want it to be. So I am very fortunate, blessed, one, that he's willing to take the time to work with me. And I feel like I won the lottery being able to be at Saxman Studios out here in Mount Juliet. So
how did you come about meeting Mason and Grady?
Meeting Grady was through a few bigger artists that I knew, and I did what I said earlier. I went on Spotify to see where these tracks were coming from, and on the credit line it said Grady Saxman, and I started texting these bigger artists that I knew, and due to just having good relationships with them, they were like, oh yeah, man, just tell them I sent you and we'll make this work. And of course, Grady's not Grady doesn't have the time to work on something like a song or an artist that he doesn't truly believe in work, that's really going to put out the product that he wants. So when I sent him the first song and the second song and now Hating Your Name, he's really been kind to me, and I truly think he does believe that I can get the job done. And with Mason, that's the beauty of Nashville, is that when you go to writers rounds, you never know who you're going to meet. I believe that writers are a lot like writers rounds. To me, is a great thing because, one, it gets you introduced to songwriters that you can potentially work with. Two, it lets you try out material. It's kind of like a comedian that goes to these local clubs and bombs all the time just to try out things and work out stuff. I equivalent it to that as an artist and a songwriter. It's the same type of formula. You see what works, you see what doesn't, you see what might need work. And Mason and I ran into each other a couple times. I went to a seminar that he was the lead speaker at for a songwriting event, and we just hit it off, man. It's good to talk football.
We have a viewer watching from YouTube. His name is Stephen McCrary. Stephen's a fan of my work, but he's also a huge country music fan of Kirsty Krause, and he's watching our show right now. He just wants to say, hey, Danny, great interview.
Mr. Stephen, it's good to talk to you, man. I just saw him the other night, actually. So it's thank you for joining, brother.
Danny, how satisfying is it to make an impact on your audience and people like Stephen?
It's a beautiful thing. It's something that, you want as an artist, but you never know if it's ever going to happen. You just don't know. And you don't know if you're ever going to find true fans that like your music. Because when you talk to them, you think, well, they might just like you and support you because they like you, right? And that's also very important. And I love that. But the fact that I've built a fan base that likes me for the music, that's a really special thing. And that makes me feel good because I've been very honest and transparent about my life and my songwriting, and it comes out in songs, and it all really comes out in material. So to see that I'm not alone and I'm connecting with people, there's nothing that beats that, man.
And Steven just says, Danny, so glad I got to see you and Kirsty Sunday night in the Green Light in Nashville. And hopefully one day I'll get to see you guys perform here in Canada too.
Oh, we can't wait. Yeah, that was a great show. Speaking of writers' rounds, it was a writers' round called the Neon Outpost at the Green Light in the metro area in Nashville. Great place. The Green Light's a wonderful venue for writers' rounds, music in general. But yeah, man, I would love to come play some of those festivals in Canada. I know that y'all throw gigantic country music festivals, and not just that. I love playing the rodeos. I love playing the smaller festivals. Like I did a festival called the Goats Music and More Festival in Lewisburg, Tennessee. How awesome is that, dude? Like I'm all about that, man, because that's really where you gain your fans. It's not so much the big stage. It's really not.
And from what I've talked to a number of musicians from Canada, the UK, and obviously the States, and they find their music is inspired by their life experiences, but also they find the music helps them cope with tough situations in their life. Like music is so powerful, it's like a form of therapy.
Yeah, it was the only way for me personally. I'm not the greatest at expressing emotion. I never was growing up. So when I found music that gave me that outlet, I knew from there on it was going to be a gigantic part of my life. Whether it was going to be a career or not, that was kind of when I got out of college and I noticed that I had a knack for playing live and I could make a living out of it. But yeah, I mean, it was the most important thing in my life for me to carry on a healthy living space.
And by the way, I've had a country music artist from the UK on a couple times, Olivia Lynn, very talented. She's telling me how big country music is. It's not just Canada, but it's growing in the UK as well. And Kirsty told me about her experience over in the UK too. And I said, it's not just the States anymore, country music. It's basically international now, especially with these live streaming platforms. Music is really, truly international.
Yeah, I mean, and we're so interconnected now. And I love that country music has gotten so big in Canada. I love how it's gotten so big in the UK. Yeah, I mean, she's playing monster shows out there in the UK and surrounding areas. I mean, it really is wonderful. But I think that just is a testament to the genre itself. I mean, there there is nothing better than blues and storytelling and bluegrass, and then you could throw some rock on top of it. And the country umbrella has gotten so big that there is so many nuances of genres now in the genre, in the overall genre, that you can find anyone can find something now in country music, and that's the beauty of it.
Danny, since we got a little more time left, I would like to play your first song, which is coming up on May 22nd, called Hating Your Name. I have to ask you this because you know how YouTube and Facebook are with copyright. Do I have permission to play Hating Your Name?
Yes, you have total permission.
Okay, 1 second, and let me know if you can hear the audio. I'm the audio guy too, so just bear with me, and we'll see if we can. It's called Hating Your Name by Danny Spiro. Just 1 second, everybody. Just 1 sec. Okay, I think I got it.
It seems like the only word anybody knows, and I can't escape it. Right as the ink on this arm, and I can't erase it. Now the thought of it hurts like a Bourbon Street curse. The way that you said it, you first threw it my way. It used to roll off of my tongue, all I want to write, be the whisper in the middle of the night, an echo in my head, a line in every song. First time I heard it, it's all I ever wanted to say. But lately I've been hating your name. Last night I turned the movie off, cause the best friend had the same one. I even find myself correcting everybody when they're saying it wrong. When I hear the first letter, I hope it ends better than the one I used to love. Back when I let it roll off of my tongue, all I want to write, be the whisper in the middle of the night, an echo in my head, a line in every song. First time I heard it, it's all I ever wanted to say. But lately I've been hating your name. I wanna scratch it out the heart we carved out back. Wanna forget how you first looked so good with my life. Let it roll off of my tongue, all I want to write, be the whisper in the middle of the night, an echo in my head, a line in every song. First time I heard it, it's all I ever wanted to say. But lately I've been hating your name.
Terrific song, Danny. I think you got yourself a hit there.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. I get the chills every time I listen to it. And that's Grady on drums. I mean, now you hear it and you're like,
It's
okay,
just
that guy's
such a positive, upbeat, catchy song, and I think it's going to be very, very successful for you.
thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Fingers crossed. Either
And
way, proud of it.
Steve's watching on YouTube again. He says, "Great song," and honestly, Danny, be proud of that song. And May
Thank you, man.
22nd's not that far away. And have
Nope.
you already had radio stations already play it yet, or not yet?
One radio station so far, but the rest, I think you're like the first
Honestly, I
big
think
show,
it's.
man.
I like all your music, but this song is really special and it's really well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, kudos to Mason Douglas and Grady Saxman and the guys that he uses in the studio. They knocked it out in 1 hour. I mean, they knew exactly, like when they heard it and they charted out the music, I could see the smiles on their faces because they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna kill this." I could tell, and they got into those booths and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got this." They were like, "Bro, listen to this and let me know what you think." And they did it, and I was blown away. So kudos to them, man.
Danny, what was your biggest inspiration behind this song?
I think I, I when you get an idea for songwriting and you put it in your little notes in your cell phone or journal, whatever you use. Mine's my cell phone. Something about hating your name. Like we were in the writers' room and I was like, "What's the one thing like that gives you the ultimate chills when you think about an ex, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever? You like, what is it?" And you're like, "It's their name," and you're like, "God, I
Good point.
hate, I hate their. I even you have such this sadness that you can't even hear their name." And then I was like, "Okay, so what if you said like hating your name?" And bam, that was it. Mason heard that. He turned around, went on that computer of his, and started typing away. And within an hour or two, it was history. We had it.
How long did this song take to write and produce time wise?
I think we wrote it in a couple hours, but the actual process of recording only took, because he is so busy, even at his busiest, it only took about 3 weeks total to get everything done, mastered, and recorded vocally. We knocked it out. We really did.
How many songs are you up to now? And do you have any plans for an album in the future?
Yeah, we're this will be the fourth release as a single. I am already in the process of getting back into the studio for three more. I know that we don't want to release an album yet. We'd like to build more of a following
Okay.
on social media and digital platforms before, because you got to sink a lot of money into putting an album together, and that really does, for it to really make sense for me, to have it make sense, I'd have to have an audience that's gonna, I don't know, financially make that make sense in a way. I know streaming doesn't pay much, but you see where I'm getting at. I just I like what we're doing with the singles right now. I think eventually in the near future, even an EP, probably a 4 or 5 song EP, will be the next move. But right now, we're really happy with the singles.
Any chance this song could be put on a vinyl record?
Oh, I would love that. I mean, if I put it this way, that's up to the audience. If they listen to it and they love it, I would love to send every single one of them a free vinyl if we can get to the kind of numbers that I'd hope for. So trust me, that would be amazing. Plus, I always love the creativity of vinyls and how the artists themselves kind of have input of how it looks and how it's put together. So I would love that.
Danny, since I got you on here, I want to get your thoughts on this too. I've had a lot of people tell me that the sound from a vinyl record is still better than live streaming and CDs.
Oh, I've got a vinyl player in my living room. I love it. I love it. I got Aerosmith, Leonard Skinner. There's something about the recordings back then, because they were all analog, that when you do hear it through a record player, you hear it how it was recorded more, which kind of gives it that cooler edge because it was so much rawer than it is now digitally. And you can hear how it was really recorded on tape. So I really do appreciate the vinyl recording for that.
I'm going to put you on the spot with this question, Danny. How would you describe Hating Your Name in 3 words?
I would say it's gritty, it's groovy, and it's face punching. Is that a word? I guess that's
You can
face
use it.
dash
Yeah,
face
we'll
dash
count it.
punching. There we go. That's how you do it.
If this song is as popular as I think it's going to be, are you going to do any merchandise with hats and shirts and stuff?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I love making merch. So, and I try to create merch through every release. So there will definitely be Hating Your Name merch. I love t-shirts.
So do I. I have like 200 of them.
Oh, I'm wearing Colby Cooper right now. I'm a sucker for merch, dude. It's bad.
Same here. Hats and
Every
shirts.
every concert or sporting event I go to, I go straight for that merch table, and it's a problem because now I have a bunch of hats and shirts I won't wear because I don't want to ruin them because I like them. So now I never wear them, and now they just stack up in my closet. So, but no, I love merch and I love t-shirts. So we're definitely going to be getting Hating Your Name kind of themed t-shirts coming.
Danny, how much would you say you've improved and evolved, not just as a singer-songwriter, but as a business, the business aspect of the music industry as well?
Oh, it's been a complete 180, man. It really has. It takes time to build your brand. It really takes time to admit who you are as an artist. And that is a lot. If you're lucky, it happens earlier. But for the rest of us, it takes a lot of years and it takes a lot of being everybody else but you. And I'm sure a lot of artists can relate to that. But once you get that brand, it makes all the social media stuff and it makes all the pitching emails to venues out of town and even like pitching your songs on Spotify. So it makes it so much smoother and easier because you're like, this is the window I'm in. These are the artists that I could see myself on the same bill at a music festival. Now take that avenue. Like I get that the Texas country red dirt kind of scene isn't for everyone. That's okay. But I wouldn't, now knowing who I am as a brand, as an artist, I'm not going to try to pitch myself to a pop country playlist, or I'm not going to pitch myself to a jazz festival. You know what I mean? Like, and it makes the whole process so much easier to do once you've learned that. So knowing the brand has made the whole business side a lot easier.
What do you want your fans to take out of the song Hating Your Name? What's the biggest thing you want them to take out of it?
I want them to see that that it is very real to feel hate in your heart, even when that person may not deserve it. It's okay to recognize how you feel in that moment of sadness and heartbreak. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to, I mean, obviously you don't want to hate anybody, but it is okay to recognize those feelings because I think that's really healthy and it gets you through.
Danny, can you tell us about your latest other single that came out in 2025? I believe last August or September, called Love Songs, came out. What was the inspiration behind Love Songs lately?
Yeah, Love Songs lately, man. It's a classic tale of a guy that, you know, every day goes to work and listens to his playlists and his radio station. And it's always like, you know, 90s brooding rock like Nirvana and all these Fuel. And one day you meet somebody and all of a sudden you notice your radio stations have been changing from all this I'm so alone to Rascal Flatts and Josh Turner, and you're hearing these love songs. And then you realize, oh man, for the last like 2 hours on this car ride, all I've been listening to are love songs lately. And I brought that title to Mason Douglas once again, and when he heard Love Songs Lately, he was like, oh, that's a winner. And we wrote that one pretty quick as well. And that's pretty much what the story's about.
Do I have permission again to play this song, Love Songs Lately?
Yes, you have permission.
Okay, 1 second. And let me know if you can hear the audio. And this is courtesy of your YouTube channel. So everybody, please subscribe to Danny's YouTube channel like I have. And just bear with me 1 second. And I got so many things on my screen. So bear with us. And we'll have this song on in 1 minute. And this is called Love Songs Lately. And we're going to play it right now, courtesy of Danny Spiro. 1 second, everybody.
I was a 12-inch vinyl Rolling Stone with a hard rock heart. I was a sucker for a cold man tone and a cranked up electric guitar. Then I met you. The next thing I knew, songs lately, I turn them on. They make me wanna call you baby. And think of dancing with you slow, taking every chance I know, spinning out of control. Girl, you're making me crazy. I'm falling for you. See words I never knew. All I listen to are love songs lately. Who would have thought that a guy like me would be tearing up to Lady in Red? Between Always on My Mind or Wonderful Tonight, baby, I couldn't tell you who said it best. I guess that they knew somebody like you when they picked up the pen. 3 words ain't the truth, 'cause all I listen to are love songs lately. I turn them on, they make me wanna call you and think of dancing with you slow, taking every chance I know, spinning out of control. Girl, you're making me crazy. I'm falling for you. Some words I never knew. All I listen to are love songs lately. That's right. Yep. Laying here is music to my ears. Listen to all I listen to are love songs lately. I turn them on, they make me wanna call you baby. And think it dancing with you slow, taking every chance I know, spinning out of control. Girl, you're making me crazy. I'm falling for you. Some words I never knew. All I listen to are love songs lately. Falling for you all day and the whole night through. Now all I listen to are love songs lately. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Danny, and you got yourself a hit there too.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my first song to make country music radio station up in Fargo, North Dakota. Man, I was really pumped about that. It got nominated for a Josie Music
Congratulations.
Award. Yeah, I got nominated at the Grand Ole Opry for the Josie Music Award for Best Modern Country Song of 2025, and I believe it helped me win the Josie Music Award at the Grand Ole Opry Outlaw Country Singer of the Year, which was really exciting. So we were pumped for that one.
How much did that mean to you? How much did it mean to you personally?
When they first said my name, it didn't like register. And then someone random next to me, we were sitting up in the aisles, my parents and Kirsty Krause. I invited her to come because I was like, dude, this is nuts. I was like, you want to join me? And the guy to the right of me was like, hey, is that you? And I was like, I think so. I think it's me. And he was like, bro, you better run down there quick. Those speeches are going fast. So I ran down there to the stage at the Opry, and before I got to the stairs to the side to walk up that stage, I was like, "Oh, what am I doing here? I don't belong here." I was like, security's going to come snatch me any second. Be like, what are you doing, son? And I got up there, man, and I sat in that circle for the first time, and looking out at like a sold out crowd like that is, to this day, man, it might be one of the greatest memories I've ever had in my life. So it's just something that, the Grand Ole Opry has always been the goal for me, because I grew up to the classics, and I grew up to the Grand Ole Opry being the show, the Super Bowl. And to be standing in that same circle of so many greats and giving a speech for an award, let alone, is something that there's nothing better than that, man. Family, God, football, and standing in the Grand Ole Opry circle. Those are my tops for sure.
Well, Danny, congratulations. And it was just like me this past year. I ended up getting a Super Bowl 60 media pass, and
what?
For some reason, for obvious reasons, I wasn't able to attend, but it was the ultimate honor, and hopefully maybe next year in the future, I will be able to go again, because that's what I've been working my butt off for 6 years, is to improve, keep getting better. And obviously the NFL, they don't give out Super Bowl passes like candy. So I was in shock the day I got an email saying you've been confirmed for a Super Bowl media pass for Santa Clara. It's just the feeling. I know it's different from music, from media, but it's the same kind of like, wow, what an accomplishment. It's like, it's very humbling.
In your and my line of work, you really have to pat yourself on your back for the majority, if not like 99.9% of it. So to be recognized, whether it's getting the pass at the Super Bowl or being able to accept an award on the Opry stage, you get that validation, like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. Because I'm sure, like I do and every artist does, and you probably have, you say, and is what I'm doing right? Like, do I need to keep pushing on, or am I just crazy here? So to get those opportunities and to get that, every day that I doubt myself, I remind myself where I was, and it keeps me going.
And it motivates me too, because I've had a lot of people support my work, but I've also had a lot of skeptics, naysayers, and maybe the odd hater too.
Oh, I have my fair share of hate on social media. I kind of find it funny, because I try to, if it's clever and it's evil, then all right, I'll laugh at that. Some of it's just, But every now and then someone says something that's actually pretty clever and funny, and I'm like, okay, I'll take that one. That was good. You got to laugh at it, dude, because social media is such a cesspool of just nonsense and stupidity that if you let that get to you, man, then this business isn't for you.
Yep. You have to have thick skin. You have to have thick skin.
Man.
Thick skin. And also, I use my social media to promote my guests like yourself, promote myself, promote my brand, and I try to stay out of that other crap. So I'm just so happy for you, Danny. And Stephen McCurry, who's still watching, says he loves this song too.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for tuning in, man. It was great seeing you at the show the other day.
How long has Stephen been a fan of yours and Kirsty's?
He's been a fan of Kirsty's for years. He's one of her biggest supporters. And he's known me for probably about 1.5 years now. And he is pushing along, man. He goes to all the shows that he can. And Lord knows I appreciate every single moment I see people like his faces. You know what I mean? Like when people really go out of their way to take the time to consistently go to your shows, that's really something special. That's a special human being. And I appreciate every single one that I have.
And it's like with me, I have certain people that watch every one of my shows, or when I go to Toronto, I have strangers come up and shake my hand, and I don't know who they are, and I guess they recognize me, and I'm like, thank you so much. It's very humbling, because I don't do this to get a pat on my back. I do this like you do your music. It's a passion of mine, and it's storytelling too.
Yeah, I mean it's 100%, and You do it because you have this inner urge to do it. You didn't do it for the fame and fortune. I think if you're in entertainment for fame and fortune, especially something that is artistic, whether it's a podcast or being a radio host or a musician, you're not going to get to the places that you want to be because you're in it for the wrong reasons, man.
Danny, what's next on your bucket list?
On the bucket list, man, I always had this fantasy of playing football at the University of Hawaii. I wanted to be the shortest fullback recorded in history of D1 football. And I wanted to play music with Jack Johnson and surf in Hawaii. That was all I wanted to do when I was in high school. It's a hell of a dream, you know? And I would love to play music in Hawaii. I would love to tour the islands. I would also love to be in Australia. Australia has a wonderful market for country music. They're good folks too. Every Australian that I meet here in Nashville is some of the coolest folks I've ever met in my life. And I mean that's the two big fantasies. And really the truth, Canada. I mean, you know, my mom being Canadian, it would be a shame if I didn't. It wouldn't be right if I didn't go up there and tour the hell out of it.
When you do come here, let me know because I'd love to see you perform. And also the Calgary Stampede, as well.
Yes, and
you got to get out to the Calgary Stampede.
Brother, when I tell you I am emailing, I am trying to shake hands. I'm asking Canadians here in Nashville. I'm like, bro, I got to get to that Calgary Stampede. I don't care what slot I'm in. I don't care what day it is. I don't care if I'm in the parking lot. Just get me there. So I would love that. I would love that.
Danny, I know how much you love playing with Christy Krause, but if there was one person right now in the world that you'd love to play a duo with, who would it be with?
A duo?
Yeah. There's somebody that you would
I would love to play a duo acoustic show with Casey Donahue. There's something about his writing as a kid growing up too that he was always a fearless writer. He was never scared to talk about any subject, no matter how dark, light, meek, you know. And he's one of the biggest influences I've ever had. So if I could play an acoustic duo show at like Billy Bob's Texas or the Green Hall, one of these epic Texas venues with Casey Donahue, I could die a happy man.
By the way, I wanted to say congratulations to the 2026 Classic Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Oasis. There's a number of 80s bands that I grew up with that are finally into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Phil Collins, whether you're a fan of Phil Collins or not, he had such an impact on music and with Genesis and with himself, and that's long overdue as well. Do you find the Country Music Hall of Fame doesn't get as much attention or recognition as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does in Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like the mecca, right? The Country Music Hall of Fame is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but in that world, I guess if we want to say like Hall of Fames, it's still kind of less funded, less advertised than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. So also the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame includes a lot of different genres. Like I think LL Cool J was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one year. So, you know, they are including other genres when the Country Music Hall of Fame is very specific about what genre they're really looking to keep historically. And, you know, I respect that.
Okay. And as we wrap up the show, Danny, what is one fun fact about yourself your fans might not know about you? And do you have a question for the host before we wrap this up?
Yeah. So one fun fact about myself, I have the worst balance and coordination known to the history of man. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know if that's injuries from football all these years. But I have tried to do these personal trainer workout places like around town, around Nashville. You know, there's these gyms now that do programs. A lot of it's stability work, and I ain't got it anymore, man. I don't know. I hit some age where I can't balance on a ball anymore. It's kind of upsetting, to be honest, but it is what it is. And yeah, I want to ask you, man, like, what's your plan? Where do you want to be in 3 years? Where do you see the show in 3 years' time?
I wanted to get back onto traditional radio, but traditional radio is not what it's used to be. And I want to prove to people I'm 53 that I'm 53 is not a liability. It's an asset for my life experience and skills.
Hmm.
And also being self-taught. I do have a college degree in law and security, but I also have learned how to teach myself how to get into this career through my other career in security. Because when I was in security for almost 25 years, I had to think on my feet. I had to listen. I had to show empathy. I had to deal with mental health crises, intoxicated people. I had to deal with all kinds of situations. So my former career plus my life experience and skills, I just love doing what I want to do. So I want to continue to build my brand. I've got almost 700,000 viewers on YouTube, which is I
That's
never
great.
thought it. It's a lot of work, by the way. YouTube is a lot of work, and
Oh yeah.
Spotify, I'm almost 12,000 listeners.
Wow.
I want to continue to get great guests like yourself and Kirsty on. My show is very diverse. It's not just sports. I do everything, and I
Hmm.
want to continue to build my brand, get more sponsors, advertisers, and have great storytelling shows as well. This is a passion of mine, Danny, and I can tell how passionate you and Kirsty and my other guests are as well. And that's what I love about this show is the
Yeah.
storytelling and the learning aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great answer, brother. That's amazing that you have those numbers, man. Congratulations. You're doing it right, obviously. So just keep it up. And yeah, dude,
And
age is just a number, man. I
it
feel that
is.
the older you get, the more valuable you get, anyways. So
And once a month now, I speak at local high schools about careers,
yeah,
education,
man.
and share my story as well. So I've reinvented myself over time. And I tell kids
Hmm.
too, you don't have to pick one career when you're in high school. You can have 2, 3, 4 different careers. And also, education is not just in a classroom, it's a lifelong process.
I could not agree with you more. I think that most of the education I've ever got was me actually opening a book because I wanted to learn.
Yep.
That's kind of been my forte when it came to high school and college. I was far from a good student, but I learned because you get to an age one day where you start wanting to explore more and you want to start learning about how the world works and how it works in other places on this planet. And it's funny when you actually do get older and you start realizing, oh man, we learned this in high school, except I wasn't paying
I didn't know what I
attention.
wanted to do when I was in high school. Like they didn't have the cell
Oh, I didn't
phones or the
either.
internet, but I didn't have any focus. And now, if I went back to school now as a student, I think I would be an A student because of my life experiences and what I've learned.
Dude, I swear to you, I just thought of it the other day. I was like, man, now at this age, I would have been able to sit in a chair. I would
Yep.
have been able to do my homework, knock it out in 20 minutes, and been totally fine. Maybe not a straight A student, but a lot better student than I was. I would have been definitely more focused. I would have had great grades, man. I just couldn't sit still, dude. Couldn't sit still, could care less about a classroom, man. So, yeah, I'm with you, brother.
Hey, Danny, as we wrap this up, where can our audience follow you on social media, your website, maybe some of your merchandise you want to plug? And do you have any upcoming live performances that you would like to plug here as well?
Yeah, so it is at Danny Spiro on Instagram, at Danny Spiro Music, at TikTok and Facebook and Twitter. www.dannyspiro.com for all the merch, for the email list. If you're interested in merch, just put yourself on the email list, and I send the press releases all the time with new merch ideas and what I have in stock. I am so excited to get down to the Key West Songwriting Festival. It has been a craving of mine to be back in Key West since last year. So this is exciting.
So, hey, Danny, I want to say thank you so much for coming on for a second time, and continue success in your music career. And Hating Your Name and Love Songs Lately are two great hits. And I do subscribe to your YouTube channel and Spotify and that as well. And social media, by the way, is a full-time job itself.
Yes, it is, man. It's a learning process too. You gotta post everything, no matter what, no matter how much it may not get reach or views or likes. It doesn't matter. You're trying to figure out what works for you, and the only way that's going to work is putting out a bunch of stuff that no one cares about. I hate to say it. I wish I could say that there's some sort of formula of exactly what to post, but the truth is that you aren't another person. So what works for them is not going to work for you all the time.
Yep. Sometimes you post something you think will do well, it doesn't. And then sometimes you post something that you think is stupid or silly and it works well. So the key thing is just try to post consistently. Just try to post consistently and see what happens. And it's like with my show too. I don't worry about numbers. I worry about getting good guests and having good shows. The numbers, and that will come at some point.
Yes, they will. Quality is everything. Quality over quantity, of course. But if you can find a good balance of being able to put out the quantity with things that you actually believe in, and that goes back to having a life. Like, make sure you have a life.
Work-life balance. I have to work on that because right now, lately, I've been married to this the last 6 years.
I mean, don't get me
so
wrong.
I have to admit, I need to take a little time for myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because social media, if you're an artist, when it comes to music, that's only one thing. People want to bond with you so much more than your music now. It's really not just about your music anymore. They want to know who you are as a person. They want to know what your hobbies are. They want to know what your passions are, which makes, funny enough, if you look at it like this, makes content a lot easier because now you got a lot more ideas to use. Absolutely. So ever since I started kind of applying that and I started put other parts of my life in there, things have really changed a lot in a great way.
Absolutely. And also, Danny, I'm learning a lot from all my guests. And I also had a gentleman on named Michael Peltier. He's based out of Toronto, and he's a musician like yourself, a singer, but he's also started up his own business company for the music industry as well. So I learned a lot from him. And also this Saturday, a little plug for my show, I have a R&B gospel singer from Toronto coming on as well. So I'm very lucky. I get a diverse lineup of guests and topics and different types of music and musicians as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. And you going diverse like that does nothing but, one, doesn't make your show boring. You know, you can ask different questions, you get different answers, completely different backgrounds and cultures. And I mean, that's the goal, right? Is to, as much, I'm in country music, right? But I use influences from every other genre that I grew up to as well. And that's what makes it.
Yeah. And I'm very lucky. It's the guests that make a great show. And like I said, my career in security, I do believe helped me transition because when you're dealing with the public, you have to learn to talk, and listening is huge as well, and thinking on your feet too. Because technology sometimes doesn't always go smoothly. And I'm sure at some point in your music career, something's happened in one of your clubs where you've had to improvise at the last minute.
Hey, all the time, man. We deal with that all the time.
So, well, Danny, thank you so much for coming on. Continued success.
Thank you.
Give me a little bit of time tonight, and I will send you the video, the audio, and I will break it into reels and clips as well. And you do have an open invite to come back on. And when you do come to Canada or even the London, Ontario area, please let me know as well.
Yes, I will. Chris, thank you so much again for having me, man. This was a pleasure. It's an honor being on here. Seriously, you were the first interview I ever had, and I'll never forget that, man, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And I love what I'm doing, just like you and my guests. I just love connecting with my guests and hearing their stories and learning from them as well.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not going to hold it against you being an Alabama fan either. Go blue. Go blue.
Just remember, the past 10 years have done us well.
Yes.
I think Saban needs to make a comeback, man. I think he's bored. He's got to be bored doing Aflac commercials, man. He's got to be bored.
I am wearing red tonight. I have a red hat on, just the
Thank
Nike hat.
you.
I
Thank
got.
you.
How many hats do you have, by the way? As we wrap the show up, how many hats?
Oh, I told you I'm a sucker for merch. I have to have over like 60 hats. I'm not even
I get
kidding.
about 100.
Yeah, I got about 60
Okay.
that I've never worn
Yeah.
on my head because I'm scared I'll
Wow.
ruin them. I know it's bad. It's bad. It's a
Don't
bad
buy
idea.
white hats. White hats.
Oh, I
look
do.
great.
I made
They
the
look great.
mistake. I know.
They look great when you buy them, but within a week or 2 weeks, you can't keep them clean. If you're gonna buy a hat to keep it as a collectible, then buy white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though now all of my hats have turned into collectibles.
All right, Danny. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you really soon on social media.
That sounds great. Chris, thank you so much again.
Thanks, Danny. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That concludes season 13, episode 34, overall 694 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet. And I want to say thank you again to Danny Spiro, a country music recording artist. And he just is releasing his latest song, Hating Your Name, which will come out on May 22nd, 2026, which is a month away. And also, thank you for letting us play his other song that was released in 2025, I believe 10 months ago, called Love Songs Lately and Hating Your Name are his two latest singles as well. And make sure you follow Danny Spiro on his website. I'll put all his website and social media on here as we wrap this show up as well. And as we wrap this show up, I have another announcement to make. My next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at barrycullen.com, is going to be on Friday, April 17th at 8 a.m. That's right, 8 a.m. Eastern, with my special guest, Genevieve Poole. She is an entrepreneur and a writer in the Netherlands. The Netherlands is about 5 or 6 hours ahead of us here on the East Coast. So this Friday morning, 8 a.m., Janine Poole will be on, entrepreneur and writer. And then Saturday, April 18th, 7 o'clock, I will have gospel R&B singer Bellamy Bentley on from Toronto as well. So if you're a fan of R&B, gospel music, Bellamy Bentley will be on this Saturday as well. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a break next week. I'm taking Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off, and then I will work on more shows as well. But I want to say thank you to Danny Spiro for coming on here, and also my guest yesterday too, Carrie Norland, a crime analyst from the Lakewood, Colorado Police Department, came on yesterday, and my other guest, Diana Bellarose, who is a pop rock singer and songwriter in Los Angeles, for coming on as well. So 3 shows in 24 hours. Hey, as we wrap this show up, guys, I want to say congratulations to Joe Bowen, who's calling his final Toronto Maple Leafs game tonight. Joe Bowen's been the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs for 44 years, going back to 1982 to 2026. Tonight's his last game, alongside his co-partner, analyst Jim Ralph, as the Leafs take on Ottawa. I had the pleasure of meeting Joe Bowen last summer at BMO Field in Toronto. His son Sean works for the Toronto Argonauts, and Joe is down to earth, and you could drink a beer with Joe. But Joe's called over 4,000 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and unfortunately, in his 44-year career, he never got to call a Stanley Cup championship or a Stanley Cup Finals game. But Joe Bowen is the voice of the Maple Leafs, and there's nobody that's more passionate about the Toronto Maple Leafs than Joe Bowen. So congratulations, Joe, on a 44-year career with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Maple Leafs Nation will miss you going forward as well. And also, Paul Woods, former Red Wing player and now 40-year radio analyst. This is Paul Woods' last game tonight with the Detroit Red Wings as the Red Wings take on the Florida Panthers. Paul Woods played from the Red Wings from, I think, 77 to 84, being acquired from Montreal. Then Paul Woods, after he retired as a player, joined the Red Wings broadcast booth with Bruce Martin in 1986 on WJR. And after Bruce retired in 1995, Paul Woods remained on the broadcast booth with Ken Cowell. So Paul Woods and Ken Cowell called Red Wing games for 31 years on WJR at 97.1 The Ticket. And congratulations to Paul Woods on a 40-year career as a radio analyst as well. So the NHL is going to miss Joe Bowen and Paul Woods going forward next year as well. Two legends in the booth. And I just wanted to say happy retirement to Joe Bowen and Paul Woods as well. And we've got baseball tonight. The Tigers take on the Royals. The Tigers are now 8-9. Tigers are trying to win their 5th straight game. And the Tigers did sign Kevin McGonkel to an 8-year, $150 million contract for the rookie. And hopefully the Tigers can get another win tonight against Kansas City. John Flaherty is on the I think it's Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty is on the mound for the Tigers tonight at 6:40. Hopefully the rain holds off at Comerica Park. And the Red Wings obviously missed the playoffs for the 10th straight year. They're taking on the Florida Panthers tonight in Paul Wood's last game in the radio booth as well. And the Detroit Pistons, the number 1 seed in the East, won't play for a few more days. I believe the Pistons open up the first round this Sunday night at 6:30 at Little Caesars Arena. So we'll see who the Pistons play. It's going to be an exciting time. The Detroit Pistons haven't won a playoff round since 2008 and haven't won a playoff home game since 2008. And hopefully last year's experience of losing to the Knicks in the first round in 6 games helps the Pistons go forward as well. So really looking forward to the NBA playoffs this year and the Pistons having the number 1 seed in the East as well. As we wrap up this show, guys, again, you can follow Danny on Linktree, Danny Spiro. You can also follow him on TikTok at Danny Spiro Music, and also check out his YouTube channel, Danny Spiro on YouTube, and his website is DannySpiro.com, and his music is available on Spotify, Apple, and wherever music is available as well. So thank you to Danny Spiro for coming on here today. And as we wrap up the show, guys, there's a $1,500 truck trade-in bonus at Barry Cullen Chevrolet on any new 2026 Silverado 1500 crew cab. Requires a 2015 or newer pickup trade in separate assessed and accepted by the dealer. Conditions apply. View offer details or drop by Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Automobile. So again, there's a $1,500 truck trade-in bonus on any new 2026 Silverado 1500 crew cab, but it requires a 2015 or newer pickup trade in a separate assessed or accepted by the dealer. Again, conditions do apply. View offer details at barrycullen.com or drop by the dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. And again, Barry Cullen Chevrolet is a proud advertiser and sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. As we wrap this show up, guys, I am on Cameo. If you'd like a personalized video message from yours truly, CDP, go to cameo.com and type in Chris Palme. I do happy birthday, happy Hanukkah, happy anniversary, congratulations, whatever within reason. Book a Cameo today, and I look forward to doing your request. You can follow this content creator on Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP 19 on Blue Sky Social. If you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge and District Humane Society, located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals and pets that are up for adoption, their profiles and information are on cambridgehumanesociety.org, and Michelle and their staff do a wonderful job in looking after our homeless furry friends and ensuring they get adopted into good homes and good families as well. And again, I want to give a shout out to Michelle Glatley, Zach, Kat, Michelle, everybody at the Prohibition Speakeasy fundraiser event this past Saturday night at the Cambridge Newfoundland Club. They had live band music, silent auction. They had some appetizers and some dessert and pie that I had a few pieces of pie. And it was a really good, very good event. And hopefully it raised a lot of money for the Cambridge District Humane Society. I want to say thank you to everyone that bought a ticket, purchased the ticket for that event, and also who donated prizes like Cipriana's Pizzeria, who donated a gift card, Wellington Brewery, the Buffalo Bisons, Toronto Blue Jays farm team, and of course the Blue Jays as well. So thank you everyone that was a part of that event, and I really enjoyed it. And shout out to Zach Waddington, the special events coordinator for the Cambridge District Humane Society, did a great job. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show again is live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And make sure you check out my updated website on beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme and check out some of my latest interviews there, as well as my social media sites and all my content, as well as my latest Buffalo Bandit story on WordPress.com. So go to beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme, click on WordPress, and that'll take you to my latest game night story as well. You can also follow me on TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok at Chris Palme. Make sure you follow, like, and share. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars, live streaming, or a podcast, and go to StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans like yours truly has. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars, go to StreamYard.com and contact the sales department for business pricing as well. Yours truly has been with StreamYard for 5 years, and I give them a big thumbs up. Finally, guys, Live with CDP and Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the audio version is on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, Good Pods. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. And I want to say thank you to you, the audience, for watching this show live stream. I'm almost at 700,000 views on my YouTube channel, and also on my audio platforms. I have 80 countries around the world listening to this show, and I'm almost now at 12,000 downloads and streams on Spotify. So thank you to the audience for watching and listening to this show, and thank you to the amazing guests and to Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph for being a part of this show as an advertiser. And speaking of advertising, if you have a business and you'd like to get it out on this platform, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, which is on 21 platforms and is established, please email me at cpalme19@gmail.com. My business prices are reasonable and competitive, and I'd be happy to work with your business and getting your business name out here on my platforms, both video and audio forms as well. Finally, guys, you can email me at Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpalme19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you like my YouTube channel, you like my media work, and you'd like to contribute, I am on PayPal. Go to paypal.com at Chris Palme if you'd like to support my show through PayPal or through Cameo, booking a video through cameo.com, Chris Palme as well. Finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Threads, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky Social, everywhere except Snapchat. And also remember to subscribe, like, and share to my YouTube channel, Chris Palme, Live with CDP Talk Show. Subscribe, like, and share. And remember to check out my YouTube Shorts videos as well. And I have some video content from the Prohibition Speakeasy fundraiser for the Cambridge District Humane Society this past Saturday there as well. And that is about it, guys. I want to say thank you to Danny Spiro, a Nashville country music recording artist, for coming on here tonight. And please check out his music. And thank you, Danny, for letting us play Hating Your Name, his new single coming out on May 22nd. And also Love Songs Lately that came out last August as well. So continued success to Danny. Thank you so much for coming on. And also remember, my next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by the folks at Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Again, Friday, April 17th at 8 o'clock a.m. with guest Genevieve Poole, an entrepreneur and writer out of the Netherlands as well. I hope everybody has a great night, and thanks for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Palme, and brought to you by the folks at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you Friday morning.